Hi guys, welcome back to another episode. Today we are working on this John Deere, must be French, a 75, which has got to be like one better than the 74. So found this guy at the end of a driveway that somebody was just throwing away, and why you would throw out a classic gem like this, I don't know, but I'm sure we're gonna find out why. Let's take a little tour around this guy and see actually what we're working with here. Now, looking at the seat here, I believe this was a option on the SX75, probably from the Office edition. Looks like it was built for comfort, not speed. And as much as I really enjoy the ingenuity that somebody put into this, I'm not sure this is going to hold up to the elements and probably just act like a giant sponge. So we might have to address that. But I do appreciate the ingenuity that somebody put into that. Alright, so it looks like our front tires are now racing slicks. There is 0 tread left on those. Might have to look into that. Do notice that the steering is a little sloppy. One tire turns and the other one doesn't, so that might be something to look into. Going around to the back here. Alright, well, we're missing a battery. And as far as the engine goes, I have no idea what this is. Well, apparently it's a 9 horsepower balanced electric start overhead valve cast iron cylinder. I'm not sure. It kind of looks like a is that a Kawasaki head on there? Well, there's something down there. I'm not sure what that is. I'm sure if we run the numbers on it, we can figure it out. But looking over here, a little fiberglass damage, but nothing terrible. Oh, yep, here's our model number down here. So we can run this and find out what engine is actually in it. So if any of you guys know what year this is, type it in the comment section below. But let's move on over here. Looks like our little idler wheels or whatever, those would need to be addressed. Well, before we start making this thing pretty, we should actually know if this engine runs or not. So let's throw a booster pack in here and see if we can get this thing to turn over. We have it hooked up to the booster pack here, and we're running through all of our safety switches, testing out. So there's a safety switch for the seat, for the deck blades here, and then the brake. We checked all those, didn't see anything that would indicate that something there is wrong, and I'm not seeing any burnt wires or anything. So the next thing to do is probably check and see if our starter solenoid is not working. An easy way to check and see if it's maybe just the starter solenoid and not the actual starter is we'll put a hot wire right on the end of the starter and see if it turns over. I disconnected the one wire from the starter solenoid and have the booster pack clipped into that. So then we just need to clip into our negative over here. Before we do that, we should actually check and make sure there is oil. Oh, it actually looks pretty good. Alright, let's hook it up and see if it'll turn over here. Clear blades. Seems to turn over. Let's throw some starter fluid down there and see what happens. Oh, that looks like a brand new air filter. Well, yeah, brand new. Looks a little dirty. Brake clean should help that out. Let's see if she goes. Unplug the key set here. Our key set is bad. Alright, I forgot I wasn't holding down the seat safety switch, so disconnect that. Try it again. Alright. Well, it actually starts and runs pretty good. Smokes a little bit, so I'm not sure if that's just from sitting, and I'm not sure, but so it sounds like we have an electrical issue. I'm not sure if it's maybe in the switch or in the starter solenoid, but the engine does run, so that's motivating enough to move forward with it and keep diagnosing it. Let's see how old this gas is. Oh, that is chunky. Oh, not good. That might have something to do with smoking and not running very well. Alright, so maybe first step is we'll drain the gas. That's a good idea. Alright, so for about the last 3 hours or so, I was poking around in the electrical, trying to figure out why it wasn't doing anything when you hit the key. And found out 2 reasons. There's a neutral safety switch underneath the transmission here, which I'm assuming is bad because moving this guy around, it's not closing the circuit. And the 2 wires going back here are normally open, so we end up just running a pigtail and looping the 2, so it always thinks that it's in neutral. So that solved that issue. And our other issue is this is part of a voltage regulator that controls the voltage coming off of the alternator, or whatever you want to call it, inside the engine here. And that was completely fried. And the other side of this wire here plugged into that, and that was just arcing and blowing the fuse. So once we figured that out, we're just leaving the one side coming off the engine disconnected, and you just have this hot side that connects to what would be our battery. That's disconnected. So right now, hitting the switch here should fire. so I think we figured out what the issue is here. So then we just gotta look up and try to find a new regulator for, and they made this thing tiny. A new regulator for this. We may or may not put a new safety switch in, or might just leave it looped around. But yeah, I think at this point we can start putting our key switch back together, and then we can troubleshoot the rest of it. As much as I enjoy the ingenuity and resourcefulness of using a office chair, I think we're gonna take this off. So we do have a John Deere seat that's in decent shape that we can replace with it. So the office chair is gonna go. Oh, just looking at this, whoever hacked this thing together did a pretty impressive job, actually. They maintain the adjustability in it and everything. Unfortunately, we're going to cut all this off anyway, so start by taking that off there. They fully welded this thing together. And unfortunately, we do need this bottom piece, so that means we gotta cut all of these welds out, which, man, they went heavy with the welder on there. So we got the old welded part off the seat here and ready to put it down, but I think I went through 2 disc wheels trying to cut off those welds. Yeah, I mean, whichever guy had this beforehand really liked to weld, because, you know, maybe like 2 like little 1/2-inch welds on each side probably would have been more than sufficient, but this guy. Perfect. Look at that. A little bit of duct tape on there, and should be good. All right, so the key to fixing John Deere seats is it's using yellow duct tape. See, using yellow duct tape, I mean, it makes tears just disappear. I mean, look at that. You can't even tell that there's tape. It's like, was this just refinished? No, just yellow duct tape. Okay, a little over here. And to get that truly professional edge, we're just going to take our razor blade here. Be careful not to cut the seat anymore. And just trim it back. John Deere seat. Well, the back of our deck lid here is, I'm not sure if you can see it in the pictures or not, but it's supposed to be black. It's faded pretty gray. And we're just going to use this trim and bumper paint for plastics. Seems to work pretty good. Alright. We're just going to throw a tarp down. Yeah, should work fine. Alright, well, we'll let that dry up and throw another coat down. So we're back on the electrical here, and I went and I looked up pricing on these John Deere specific voltage regulators, and they wanted $60 for this little voltage regulator. So I did the right thing and found a Briggs & Stratton one. It's like $15. So connectors are different, but I mean, it's 2 wires coming in, 2 wires going out, so I figure it should work. So we cut the old connectors off, got these new ones on, so we just have to mount this down there. And then we made up a new neutral safety switch connector, so we'll plug that in the back. So underneath here is our connector for our neutral safety switch, and we just want to tell the thing that it's a neutral. So just jam this connector in there. Alright, let's throw a battery in this guy and wait for fires. Hopefully not. Well, I don't see anything smoking or on fire. Let's look up our seat safety switch here. And let's see if she still turns over. What the? So the safety switch just wasn't connecting good. Sorry. Let's try it again. Alright, so I checked our voltage, and voltage with the battery was coming off at, I think, 13.9, 13.10, something like that. So that means it's charging and not overcharging. So using a like a Briggs & Stratton regular 2-wire voltage regulator is a much cheaper replacement than the John Deere one, and it works. So we get too much farther on this, how about we make sure it goes? So we don't even know if it drives yet. We don't know if the deck works. Let's take it out and see how it does. clean it up. For this really caked on stuff, we're gonna use this car and wheel cleaner. Works really well. Same thing with all the current stuck on stuff on the deck. Alright, then we'll just hose that out. Yep, just a little Scotch-Brite and that wheel cleaner works really good on getting all this dirt off. Some of that there. Alright, so we got this all fixed up, and for the cost of a battery and a few hours in time, I mean, we got a pretty good machine. So if you guys found this entertaining or helpful, please like and subscribe. Till next time, take care.